What's up, all my fragrance lovers? Y'all know who it is. It is your boy, Wolf Fragrances. Um, I'm jumping on here real quick, giving y'all my weekly rotation, letting y'all know what I wore this week and what I thought about it, how they performed, all that good stuff. So, if you've seen it in the thumbnail, of course, most of these were Lattafa fragrances. I gave a first impression a while back of a couple of these that I got, which was the Ejaazi Intensive Silver and Rayed Silver, whatever you call it or whatever. So this is going to be the full review basically on the wearers of those throughout the week. So we just gonna jump right into it. First up was on Monday of last week or whatever. I wore Ejaazi Intensive Silver. I already told you about the presentation and everything. I will give Lattafa that. They don't skimp on presentation for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Very bulky, big bottles and boxes. But this fragrance, okay, so if you're in the fragrance community, if you on YouTube and watch these things, you know they have compared this, which most of Lattafa's are clones or inspired by fragrances. So this one, they called it a clone, or you can say inspired by La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique. If you see my first impressions were not that they could have been really inspired by that fragrance because of the lack of cardamom to me. I've never really smelled Bleu Electrique. It was discontinued before I could really get my nose on it. But watching reviews and everything, looking at the notes really don't compare. I mean, one problem is on Joman's shop, um, the notes are totally different than on Fragrantica. So on Fragrantica, of course, they have mandarin orange, grapefruit in the top, cedar, sea notes in the mid, amber, and moss in the base. Now, that is a pretty good depiction, actually, of this scent. When on Joman's shop, it actually says that it has like some lavender and cardamom and lily of the valley and all kind of stuff like that. Um, as you see, atomizer is okay. Now I would say in the top, you definitely get that citrus. It is very blue, very shower jelly, as I said before. Um, I feel like the cardamom's in the background. Now, as far as how this thing wears, it did pretty good. Projection wise, it's moderate. It's moderate to say the least, or to say the most. It definitely lasted 5 to 6 hours. I could smell it. Turns into a skin scent. Of course, like I say, after an hour or so, it's definitely has a nice. It's a very nice fragrance. The amber and all that stuff in there. The moss, you can really get that mossiness, the greenness in it, and everything, which is probably kind of familiar to the Blue Electrique. Um, Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna pull up those notes for that one. And give a quick little comparison. Come on, for granted. Y'all know where I'm going with that. All right. Lana Weed Alone Blue Electric. So, both are pretty woody fragrances and everything. It's a little spiciness in this one and the Ejaazi, but not a lot. They definitely, like I said, have the woodiness. Now, in Blue Electric, you have cardamom, ginger, and bergamot on the top with lavender and geranium. The geranium gives it a greenness like the other one. So those comparison, the citrus is in the top, the geranium with the moss and all that good stuff. Of course, the cedar is the same. Not much lavender in here, but like I said, it is a great pickup. It was very office safe. I didn't hear a compliment on this, but I don't be around people a lot at my job or whatever, so take that with a grain of salt. As you seen in the thumbnail, though, I have figured out a way for you all to get a more of a Laundry Delon Blue Electric feel. And that is, of course, by doing a little combination here. And what is that combination? I'm about to tell you. So let's pull this up real quick. And trust me, y'all, each one of these aren't going to be this long. So Just bear with me. All right. So what I'm comparing this to is this. You got the Guess Seductive On Blue. It's aromatic, fresh, spicy, a little bit more like what is said in Lana We Delone. And the top notes are cardamom, citruses, black pepper, with seed notes and geranium in the mid, cashmere wood, sand, and moss. So now, as you can see, you have the same basic notes in the top, mid, and in the base of this. Wouldn't you have the citruses compared to the bergamot and everything? And Lana We Delone, you have the geranium in the mid as well as the moss in the bottom. Now, if you combine these two, you get a mixture of all those things. And in my opinion, that'll be the best way to really get Bleu Electrique. Now, I wore this again this week combined, and it was projecting. You know what I'm saying? I actually got somebody to say, "Oh, you smell good," when I combined those two. So there you have it. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, but to me, I want one of these fragrance reviewers out here who actually has Lana We Delone Bleu Electrique that may come across this. Try it. Combine those two and see if it smells like it. All right, but let's move on. So, on Tuesday, what did I wear? Of course, next up is Rayet Silva. Rayet, whatever you want to call it. Of course, this, like I told you before, is a inspired by or clone of Cedrat Boise. Now, I feel like this is way sweeter in the top than Cedrat Boise, which really has that greenness in the top from, like, I believe it's moss or something like that. It's something that really comes out in the beginning. It gives it a stronger greeniness to me. Can't remember what. I'm not going to look up all this. I can't remember what exactly was in the top that made me feel that way. But this one with that pineapple and a candy sweetness in the top. Now, as it settles down on your skin, they are really a lot closer than off that initial, say, first 30 minutes. This one's quite a bit different than that. Now, one that I will say is more like this in the top, and that is, in my opinion, Hasavat by Nishani. Now, that one is a little sweeter with the pineapple and citruses up top. The Cedrat Boise is very woody, like all the way through almost. With that's what I was going to say. The black currant is very prominent in the beginning of that fragrance, Cedrat Boise, and you get that musk and moss a lot all the way through. This one has that also, but like I said, it plays a little later. Now, this one, as far as performance goes, it was very good. You can spray this on. It's cheap. You pay $18 for this. So go ahead and load it up. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna help with your projecting. I know this is projected for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? And that sweetness kicks up and everything. I feel like all of these almost like anytime year fragrances. This one was definitely, people smelled it and everything. I got a compliment off of this. But it could be, like I said, most people used to me wearing colognes, and somebody said, "You always smell nice." So that means I smelled nice with this as well. No one asked like, "Ooh, what's that you got on?" Nobody did that. But people who aren't familiar with Cedrat Boise smell you, and you told them that that's what you had on, they be like, "Oh, okay." They ain't gonna know. But to me, if you mix Hasavat and Cedrat or something, which if this is even close to those two, you in the building. Definitely smells good, definitely performs, definitely lasted at least 8 hours on my skin. And put on clothes, you're even going to get more, of course. So yeah, this was good. All right, and if you watched my last video, then you know that I got all these Lattafa fragrances from Joman's shop, but they broke them up. I got these two, then had to wait like another week for Asad to come in, so that ended up being the last thing I wore. So that's going to be the last thing on this video. If you want to hear about Asad, it's coming. But I ended up stopping into Burlington. I hadn't been in there for a while just to see what they had. And this ended up being my Wednesday fragrance that I came across in Burlington, none other than Cool Water, Grapefruit, and Sage. I've been looking for this one for a minute. I seen it in Burlington one day and skipped over it and was like, then I seen reviews on it. Was like, damn, I should have got that. So now I got it. And nice atomizer. And I'm going to say it's a decent scent. It's pretty generic. Um, Smells similar to some other stuff I've gotten and had here recently. Actually, it smells similar to that Cremo um, uh, sage and suede, which makes sense because this has sage and grapefruit. So it was very similar to that with the, that one has fig in the top, the grapefruit and sage. It's almost redundant to me. Smells good. I mean, it doesn't smell anything like regular cool water. Like there's not a hint of that greeniness to me that the original cool water has or whatever, which I wish they may have put a little bit of that in there, like a little dab of the regular cool water mixed with that. But those may be the only notes in there. It's really all you pick up, but I will see if there's anything else listed or what people say they smell or whatever. But as far as performance goes, you're gonna have to spray it on. You consider aromatic, herbal, citrus, fresh, spicy. It does give you a little spiciness. Of course, that's from the sage, and yeah, it just sage and grapefruit. But what do people say they smell? The citrus, herbalness, soft, spicy, and muskiness or whatever. Like I said, I wish this was. I wouldn't pay if I knew what I knew now. I wouldn't have paid $25 for this. Like if this was $15 or something like that, all day long, I'm saying go for it. But don't pay $25 for this. Go get, if you can run across, if you're in TJ Maxx, which is normally where you find them, get the Cremo, Sage and Suede, same thing, does about the same performance, $12.99. Now, like I said, spray this on and dumb reach. You're going somewhere, going to the gym. It's office safe and everything. It smells pleasant. Didn't get any compliments on it. Projection very moderate to weak. I mean, um, yeah, it's not going to leave a sillage where someone's like, "Oh, what's that?" at all. So there you have it. So Thursday, what did we wear? I ended up picking this up in Ross for like $14.99 after I passed up on it a while back, and then I seen people talking about it smelled like 1 million. So I was like, damn, I should have got that. And that is none other than Perry Ellis Portfolio Black. So, does it smell like 1 million? Decent atomizer. That answer is yeah, kinda. It's very pleasant. That like it's not as bubble. It's not a bubble gummy sweet like other Paco Rabannes, like 1 million really is, and Invictus and all that kind of stuff. Um, but it is very pleasant. It has a minute, y'all. Not the best typer. Actually, I couldn't find it on Fragrantica, so let me stop. Um, it does have nuances of 1 million. It actually performs decent. Like I said, this is cheap again. You can spray it on. My wife really liked this. She said that smelled really good, and it does. It definitely lingers. It has I feel like some lavender and the sweetness and everything in here is from the there's grapefruit and stuff in the top as well. Like I said, it's definitely inspired by 1 million, not a one-to-one at all or whatever. It's not as bubblegummy sweet. That may be a good thing for some people who don't like it being too youthful. Like this right here definitely can be dressed up, grown up type fragrance. It's not just like I said. Um, if you think 1 million is a little juvenile, that's not. But yeah, definitely solid pickup. Wore it on that day, and it was good. So now Friday, the big boy. What you been waiting on? You've been seeing it everywhere. People been hyping it up, talking about it, all that good stuff. So I was about to get Sauvage Elixir, at least looking to get it, and went into dealers to smell it one more time before I decide to say I may want this for Father's Day or something like that. So I let the wife smell it, and she was like, "It's good." And like it didn't blow her mind like how people be saying Sauvage Elixir be doing, and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It smelled nice to me. And I waited for it to settle down, let her smell it again. She was like, "Yeah, it's a little better." Like it wasn't as good as some of the other stuff I smell. Like I let her smell Most Wanted Parfum, and that's like, yeah, that's that one. That don't even hold a candle to that. So that would probably be what I would be getting for Father's Day. But so I decided if I'm not going to get Sauvage Elixir, why not get the hype beast, which is Lattafa's Asad. I like the presentation. I like the box and everything. I threw it away, but I like the little emblem on the front here, which is supposed to be a lion. I like the symbol on top. I like the detail. Period. It looks premium. I seen somebody's little thing came off of there. Thank God mine did. But it looks premium to me, and I like the fact that Assad means lion, and that's a lion right there, being a Leo. So already with the presentation, it was cool. And out of all the bottles that I got from Lattafa, this is the only one that clicks into place. So another positive. And the sprayer. Let's see the sprayer. Pretty nice distribution. Now, it's very, the smokiness, the everything in here to me, when I first smelled it, I'm like, damn, that is elixir, because that's what I remembered in my mind that it smelled like when I sprayed it on. Now, I've seen other people saying that no, it's not a 1-to-1. It doesn't smell just like elixir, but my nose was saying this smells like elixir. Now, elixir has a lot of lavender, and it has the licorice note, and the citrus up top. This isn't a lot of citrus up top. This thing gives you the spiciness right from the jump. You getting the cinnamon, you getting the nut, the cloves, you getting all that right off the bat, and I like that. I don't have elixir right here to go 1-to-1 to see how it is, but man, I feel like this is definitely going to do me just as well as what I was going to use elixir for. I did get compliments on this because I sprayed it on. You feel me? $22. Why not? I think I'm going to get another bottle so I can douse it on all I want. You can dress it up. You can white tea it. You anytime blue fragrance type style Sauvage and stuff. And another thing I compare it to, so I have Sauvage Eau de Parfum right here. I spray that in the air. The similarities are there. Of course, like this stepped away from the typical Sauvage, but you still get that spiciness that it has in there. Not as much sweetness, like I said, from the grapefruit and different things it has in it and everything, but it definitely works. The performance is on par. Um, it's not like, I guess, Sauvage Elixir, where they say you basically got to scrub it off if you don't want to smell it anymore or something like that. It will wear down to a nice vanilla ambery scent on your skin, which is pleasant. I like that. Um, I feel like projection wise, it gives a decent projection in the first couple hours or whatever. It's not just shooting out to anyone, but it does have a sillage, which is what I prefer really anyway, because you get that pass by and they're like, whoa, what's that? So I don't get much cardamom sweetness in here or whatever, like you do in Sauvage Elixir or whatever, because nutmeg, cardamom, grapefruit in the top, lavender, and then you have that licorice and sandalwood and everything in the bottom. That spiciness coming from the vetiver and the patchouli. You get all of that um, similarity to this one right here. So those are the notes for Sauvage, of course. But when we look at the comparison with Asad, warm, spicy, vanilla, amber, woodiness, it's all there. Um, So they just throw all the spice, everything in there right together. It's like the spicy notes, which includes cinnamon, clove, whatever. You got cloves, vanilla, amber, sandalwood. Like I said, it's all there. It is a great alternative, just like everyone's been saying. I mean, anyone who's saying is not, then they kind of slick hating, I think, because if you're on a budget, go get this. It works. It's still right here. You know, Sauvage Elixir for the cheap cheap. Anyway, this video is going on a little longer than I wanted, but thank y'all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the weekly rotation. If you're not familiar with Lattafa fragrances, go check them out. I mean, they're good. They smell good, regardless of if they are dead clones to what they're trying to be inspiring or whatever inspired by. Check them out. Thank y'all for watching. To the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that.